Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And tonight, tariff wars incoming. What the hell is gonna happen? You guys already know. We've talked about this for the last 6 months. There's no surprises in the financial world. When you start messing around with markets, when you start causing price increases all over the world, there are repercussions. And congratulations, United States citizens, because you are in the crossfires. Assets are in trouble. How to get ready? We always have solutions. And welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Stop struggling now, gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm on the West Coast. We are mobile, and we're trying to do the live stream mobile all over the place. But once again, we're here. You're here. Thank you so much for being in the house and share the videos because you never know who else is going to be looking for this information. After today's stock market somewhat crash, people are sitting there in disbelief. How can this continue to happen? Well, when you announce that they're going to go forth with the Canadian and Mexican tariffs, oh my, this should scare the bejesus out of you, ladies and gentlemen. There's no way you're going to pray yourself out of it. There's no way that you're just going to sit there and do nothing and get out of this. You have to be proactive. And that's what we do here in the SSN Nation. Be proactive, because as long as you can understand what is happening, that means you can move your pieces around the board. So let's see what we're going to get into tonight. But remember, the chat rooms are open no matter where you're watching from. And make sure you make comments. I want to hear from you tonight because there still is a misunderstanding. Even after 3 months, we go January, February, we're into March. People still don't understand the repercussions from when some president that is from the United States says we are going to do tariffs. That causes a ripple effect around the world. And that also means people said, hey, hold on, we're not buying from you. And by the way, we're going to have tariffs against you as well. Now, let's just start with A. The stock market went down today. How much did it go down? Well, they're saying this is the most it has dropped in 2025. That's not saying much. That is really not saying much. We're only January and February. We're 2 months in, 60 days in, 65 days in, or 64. And that's not saying much. But all I can say is hashtag I told you so. Because anytime somebody says we're going to do tariffs, you are going to be in the crosshair, citizens. OCs, you're going to pay more money. Just call it what it is. All right. Stock futures tick higher. After Monday's big sell-off, Trump's Mexico and Canada tariffs loom. This is on CNBC. The reason why I can't do this is because I do not have stable Wi-Fi. So I'm not going to be pulling screens up. I'm not going to be doing the usual because this is going to be a problem. All right. For me tonight. And I haven't been able to get a hotspot or any internet where I am located. So therefore, I can't really run live streams, but the show still must go on. So hopefully this will not turn into a podcast like it did on Monday. But once again, make sure you tell other people about this because your life is going to potentially change. Trump halts all U.S. military aid to Ukraine, White House official says. That means we're not helping an ally along with our other allies from the EU zone. Once again, you're acting like you're siding with China, North Korea, Russia. How does the allies respond to this? They say, because they're knocking at our door, just like Germany, because if they take Ukraine, the bad guy, and then they go to Poland or Czechoslovakia or another country after that, that means they're knocking on the EU's door, who are also in NATO. So now you have a president who says he doesn't want to have nothing to do with NATO. Now you understand, they understand who the enemies are. And unfortunately, you, United States citizens, are going to be in the crosshairs for the nonsense. So let's get into it, shall we? Because bottom line is this: US 10-year yield is 4.13. It went down. That is very interesting. If people do not understand, your mortgage rates is based on that yield, not the Federal Reserve rate. And therefore, you could say, oh, stock prices go down. Well, okay, that's great. But the price and the cost of living is about to go up. Tariff wars create retaliatory tariff wars. So, once again, if nobody is very clear here and you are not a student of SSN Nation, then let's play We Told You So game. Here's how this works. If I, in America, decide to put a tariff 25% against Canada and 25% Mexico, then that means anything that is imported into the United States automatically cost 25% more for United States citizen buyers. Do you understand what I just said? Cost more because you're importing, right? You understand, I hope. But some people would say, oh, that's the cost of what? Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, tariff does not mean there's more money in the pockets of the United States, the country. All this means is there's going to be a bigger deficit between trading between United States and Canada and United States and Mexico. That's all that means. It does not gain us anything here. But what we're going to lose at is when those countries decide to put tariffs against our companies, their imports. We already have the highest cost of production pretty much around the world. So, can you imagine a Mexican citizen or a Canadian citizen having to pay 25% more for United States goods from a United States company? And imagine, which is what's going to happen, those citizens in those countries are going to say, nah, we don't need to buy their stuff, not for 25% more. And by the fallout, it has a repercussion of our companies will now start laying people off. They're going to have to start downsizing. They may even have to go out of business, or some foreign company or foreign corporation is going to buy a United States business that is world renowned because they are going to lose customers outside of the United States. This is a global environment. Now, what else can I tell you, ladies and gentlemen? Because Charles is in the house. An emerging millionaire is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he brings his tagline: I smell money, except in my 401k. He's like, oh my God, I'm pissed today after what happened. The stock market slide, the crypto pump and dump, the crypto pump and dump, along with the stock market going down because of the tariffs. Once again, if you are not a student of history, and those people who like to change history to make it seem like they're always smart and they're always the best, well, guess what? Always smart and always the best led to the 1930s stock market crash. And once again, I will repeat, guess what happened? The roaring 20s happened. where business reigned free. Let's give these guys special treatments, such as no unions. You can pay people pennies. In fact, you can employ children under 13, no problem. Just get that product out there. Let businesses be businesses. Let them make as much money as possible. And they don't have to pay the workers one thin dime if they don't want to. So we have the roaring 20s, just like the roaring 2010s to 2020. Same thing. What else did the president do back then? He said, hey, we're the biggest, baddest on the planet. I think we're going to have tariffs against every country. We don't care. We'll just have tariffs. We'll just make everything in the United States. Well, guess what just happened? He did the same maneuver. Guess what? Businesses in America couldn't just sell to United States citizens. So they started going out of business. And then the currency starts getting devalued, getting messed up. The Federal Reserve has to come in. Oh, wait, hold on. We had to form the Federal Reserve before. And now they have to give a loan to the United States government. Thus, the Federal Reserve becomes powerful. You guys understand how this went down, and banks closed. People could not get their money out of banks. Bank holiday, as they called it, closed. This is why I tell you never keep your money in a bank. Keep your duffel bag of cash. Solutions, ladies and gentlemen. The bank closes, you're through. The ATM goes out, you're through. Call it a day. Don't come whining to me later because you didn't decide to get an offshore bank account. Don't come whining to me. I'm sorry. I've been talking about this for the last 3, 4, 5 years that things were going to go down. You got 1 year, 9 months left to get the assets that's going to matter. And the assets that are going to matter is the ones that unfortunately could be a downfall as well. Real estate has always been an asset. What's going to happen if your renters or mortgage holders do not pay the bill? What's going to happen? What's going to happen if the stock market does a crash like 1930, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35? What's going to happen when you can't use stocks as assets and you can't use real estate as assets? Now what? You're going to wish you had that little bit of gold and silver at your disposal, right? Because you can change that around the world. I know some of you silver and gold stackers, you're sitting here going, I smell money. This is going to be a devaluation situation. George's Charles says, thanks, Mo, for voting for the tariffs. Mo. Hey, his boy made it. Let's see what his boy does. Eric, you warned me about crypto scam, pump and dump. Should have listened. Hey, man, I tried to tell you. They're doing it. You know who the players are. If you have the players that be right now, they're grifters. That's all they ever do. They know how to get out there and they got media locked. They know how to do media like nobody else on this planet. They can get the word out and they got a lot of people believing in them because we have a syndrome in America that is so sickening. We have this syndrome that just because the person has a lot of money, he must be smart. Just because the person has a lot of money, he knows what he's doing. But I'm like, wait, hold on. The person has no skill set to do any damn thing other than marketing. One hell of a skill set. We got a couple of those guys. Marketing 101, these guys got it on lock. But when it comes to actual business, the only way they can do business is if they get special treatment. And if I get $6 billion a year to run my businesses from the taxpayers, I think I will win any business I want to run. If I can get tax cuts and tax breaks every 4 years to 8 years, and I can get PPP loans, not have to pay it back, they're forgiven, I think I can win. I really, really do. I think a lot of people can win. You don't have to know shit. And you guys believe these guys should be able to tell you what to do. And they're getting your money freely. You ain't even pushing back out here. This is sad. So now here we are. Stop struggling now. You're in the house. We give solutions. But let me get back to the gold and silver. There's a lot of people that's believing, oh, I'm going to be a gold and silver stacker. I'm like, okay, go do history. What happened in the 1930s when, oh, you got to turn in your gold? You got to turn in your gold. And when enough people said, F you, they said, up, gold's illegal. Forget that. Gold's illegal now. Now, what are you going to do? Exactly. Now, what are you going to do? Turn in your gold, ladies and gentlemen. If we come hunting for it, you're going to be in trouble if we find it. So, what did people do? They started melting it down and turning it into jewelry. Because obviously, now jewelry, they're like, well, is that gold? Is it fake? Whatever. Jewelry changes the whole game. So, this is what happened in the 30s. This is what could happen in the 2020s. Don't be sleeping out here, ladies and gentlemen. You got to have a solution. What's the solution? Offshore is what the solution is. Let me explain. People said, hey, I'm a gold and silver and platinum and palladium stacker. I could go to Venezuela. Venezuela, when they went bust, people had gold and silver. You know what happened? The government said, be patriotic. Turn in your gold. Turn in your silver. But then it turned into people were like, F you. So they did the usual. Your gold is no good here. We either take it or you give it up. So what did people do? They ran next door to Colombia. So everybody thinks, oh, we're good. They're going to give me the going rate for gold. Colombia said, sorry, yesterday's price is not today's price. I'm sorry. We know your government is trying to confiscate your gold and silver. So hell no, you don't get spot price. How about 30, 40% less? Because where else you going to go as you walked across the border trying to escape? Where else you going to go with your gold and silver? Yeah, as you're carrying them duffel bags of weights of gold and silver around, try not to get robbed. But by the way, those gold and silver stackers, I challenge them. Go down to Venezuela and go buy something with your gold and silver. Either you're going to have it confiscated before you even get to the seller. Trust me. So stop playing with yourself out here. You need to have it in a stable country and environment where you know things aren't going to go off its rocker. So that's my presentation so far. George's Charles. He brings up, you're right, Eric, commodities is good. Yeah, it depends on where your commodities are. Because you're no different in America. If America turned into 1930s America, your gold and silver is going to be confiscated. Or the government's going to try, they're going to do the same thing. Hey, it's patriotic. Give up your gold and silver. Only the poor will do some nonsense. The rich dudes are already filling up their vaults ain't even in America. That stuff ain't even in America. Guess what else, though? The silver stackers go, oh, I'm glad it was gold. It was silver too, ladies and gentlemen. So again, when America doesn't have money, they come to you, the taxpayer. They come to you to confiscate your goods and services. Meanwhile, all along, they're giving tax cut, tax breaks, and subsidies to the rich. This is the America you guys voted for. This is the America you guys have wanted ever since 1980, when that clown showed up that used to be an actor. And he said trickle down theory, and you guys believed him because the clown was an actor. So America said, let me vote for this guy. He's going to give us trickle down theory. We'll have money in our pockets. And they've used that same nonsense for the last 40 years. Now look at you. Now look. Prices are off the charts. And you're believing some other actors out here. By the way, anybody that's on Apprentice, that's the host, it's fake. They actually make it appear that the person is more successful, just like those housewife shows. Fake reality. Okay? So just because somebody says they have a business on a TV show, fake reality TV show, does not mean they actually have the business. Of course, you guys didn't know this, though, because back then there was hardly any social media. Let's get real. In 2000, 2001, 2003, 2004, there was no Facebook, Instagram. There was no real social media. So when you would tell people on the street this stuff, they would look at you like, What do you know? Uh, I know the lawyers. I know some people that work there. I know some people that's already been in the banking business and they say they don't loan to these guys because they rip them off. Oh no, they're rich. They don't do this. Why would they have to? Here we go, man. You guys got to stop playing out here. Investment Panther is in the house. I don't believe it. He does the offshore damn thing that we talking about here, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very proud of the man. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he says, what's going on, SSN Nation? Been a while. Yes, it has. How about that stock market lately? Well, it is what it is. And of course, let's get things real. Let me give you guys some reprieve. The stock market is played by the big boys. 93% of the stock market is owned by the top 10% of the wealthiest. So we have to come along for the ride. And by coming along for the ride, we get like third, fourth hand information. So we're making moves a little late. These guys get to make moves before we do, like right now, after hours, right? All of you who have after hours trading, you could be making moves. Some of you even have 24-hour trading. You could be making moves. That's what these guys are doing behind the scenes tonight, making moves. But see, they get paid for this. They get paid to watch the market 24/7. Most people have a job. Most people have things to do. You don't get to sit on your ass and sit there and watch stock market 24/7. You don't have a staff of 50 to 100 people reporting to you like, hey, check this, and this. You don't have that luxury. But that doesn't mean you can't participate because you know the bigs aren't going to allow the stock market to go down. Sure, it can go down 5%, which it hasn't yet, 10%, 20%. This is true. But if it does, they can manipulate the system to bring it back up. So that's what's going to happen here. You have to hold your horses. You have to be committed. Investment Panther, let me know how everything's going in the DR for you, man. I want to hear about it, man. You should be almost done. You should be good. Let me know if you're on the Airbnb or short-term rental market. Joe Nay, another investors in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he says his tagline, good evening, everybody. How is everybody on this Money Making Monday? That's right. Everybody should be doing good because I like it when the stock market goes down. That means there's opportunity all over the place. So you got to love that. The real estate market, it still hasn't broken yet. It should have broken a long time ago. They've done the best they can do with keeping it up, ladies and gentlemen. Sooner or later, you're going to find out people are walking away just like it was 2007, 2008 again. A lot of people are going to say, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm not going to pay no more. I'm going to walk off. It's going to happen. So once again, put yourself in position. How can you put yourself in position? Like Joe Nay, like Investment Panther, like George's Charles, you're going to say, well, let me get something off of outside of America. Let me get banking accounts, maybe get my residency, get me something. Because if America goes south and all your eggs are in this basket, then you're going down with the ship as well. You're going to slide down the teeter-totter. It just depends on how far down you're going to slide. It's that simple, right? It's pretty simple, ladies and gentlemen. So the solutions, offshore. That's my only solution I have for you right now. I am not going to tell somebody, hey, just go buy stocks willy-nilly. All I'm going to say is the traditional method is to buy stocks when they go down on a dip and continue to always buy stocks because the big boys, they're going to help bring it all back up for the better companies. It's very simple. So it seems. But that's hard-earned money that you're looking at when you look at something and you're like, wait, did this thing just lose 20% of its value? Oh, wait, that's a negative $2,500 for this particular stock that I'm investing in. Oh, we got a problem, right? It doesn't look nice, but bring down your dollar cost average by buying when it goes down. So those are the key to the stock market. You have to stay in it to win it. All right. Check back on Wednesday and I'll actually show you charts, hopefully, because this Wi-Fi is stable today. So hopefully we'll be able to show you something on charts And you'll see that if you would have gotten out of the stock market when it went down, so then you didn't benefit from when it went back up because you didn't buy when it was down. There's only a few days a year. It's unbelievable when you see this. That's why people say buy all the time, regardless of what happens in the stock, because your dollar cost average will be great. It'll work out great for you. And this is very true over the course of time. Over the last 100 years, this has been true. All right. So just keep that in mind. This is what we want to do. Okay. Had a meeting with attorneys, found out a dude. Joe Nay has some info. I want to hear this info. Come on, Joe Nay, bring it on. We want to hear it. I want to hear it. Everybody wants to hear it. And oh, by the way, how can I forget this? We have people on the channel right now. It's still cold around America, and that means coffee, hot coffee. How about hot and cold coffee and tea? Either way, go to Beachfront Java. That's our own Professor Auntie Val and family's business. And you use the promo code SSN Lifestyle, all caps, all one word. SSN Lifestyle, all caps, all one word. Over 15 to 20 different varieties of coffee. So there's surely something you love in coffee. Then they have tea. But remember, the premium coffee beans are from Africa, Indonesia, South America, Central America. So therefore, you know the quality is going to be great. Use your SSN Lifestyle promo code because after your first order, you get a discount for life. It's that simple. It's that simple. After your first order. Free shipping in the United States. Whether you use the SSN Lifestyle promo code or not, you get free shipping. But it's that discount for life that I want to talk about, right? A deal for you, a deal for you and your family. All right, let's go. Joe Nay, he breaks it down. Met with attorneys today about Vistancia. Here we go. Found out a person was allegedly stealing money from developers. Do we happen to know who the person was? Could it be? Who is it? Did they say? Or you want to keep that confidential? How could somebody be stealing the money from the developers unless they receive the money directly themselves? That would be a scam. So, but then what do the developers do? Um, I mean, if they're missing money, now they have to do what? They have to sue the person. Okay, the money's probably gone. They're not going to get the money back. And court case is going to be another 2 years, 6, 8 months until whenever, and then 6, 8 months after that. So a year and a half before we even get to an actual court situation. So now what does that mean for the Vistancia? That's the $1 million question. That's a bad situation. I hate to say it. They also had a virtual for some of the buyers. I missed the virtual. Oh, that's too bad. Some of the buyers need to spill the beans. Let us know what's going on with Vistancia because, again, what can they tell somebody if? And again, in the DR, I don't really go by what anybody says in the DR. If somebody tells me they're a developer and then they're saying somebody stole the money, I'm not going to believe them. I'm just going to say it like it is. I'm not believing them. There's too much crazy going on there. I'm not believing them. All right. Some of the biggest in fact, I was the biggest champion of DR. When I tried to do business there was all kind of stuff going on. And I was just like, is this for real right now? I'm like, that's crazy. So I'm not believing them. First of all, they can tell me anything. I'm not believing. And in fact, there's no developer I'm believing. Zero developers I'm believing at this point. All right. By the way, the most notable developers on the island, anybody can tell me anything they want. I don't really care. The fact is, when somebody takes your money and tells you we're going to deliver something in 3 years, and then it ends up being 6 years, I don't really care what your quote unquote star rating is. I go by what you did, what you're doing. So if somebody gives you money in 2018 and it's 2020 or 2021 is supposed to be delivering, and here we are in 2025, and you still just now maybe delivering it, I'm not counting that as a win. I'm counting as a win for the OCs. At least they get delivery. But freaking 6, 7 years is like, are you serious right now? And then you're still risking your hard-earned money. They took no risk. This is where the problem is coming in. So therefore, this Vistancia thing, they can say it was somebody took the money, but I'm trying to figure out there is a way you could do it. Obviously, you would tell somebody to send the buyer to send the money directly to the sales rep or the salesman or whoever, and then they don't give it to the developer, right? I mean, that's a possibility, I guess. But in this day and age, sending money to a salesperson, a real estate agent, or anybody like that to forward to the developer, that would be a red flag, in my opinion. All right, but nonetheless, I wish we would have known about this because it wasn't in Spanish, though. That's the question. You know how they do things. Whenever things get crazy, they all of a sudden speak Spanish, no English whatsoever, right? All right, well, we'll find out. But back to tariff wars incoming. The retaliation is going to be one hell of a bad situation for United States citizens because we are the consumer nation. Again, I keep pointing this out. The other countries are not consumer nations. They don't have the disposable income like American citizens do to go buy around the world. So therefore, by them upping the price for us, we're still going to buy from them. So that creates the deficit, which devalues our currency. More money's going out of the United States into the pockets of whoever knows where. And sometimes it doesn't move as fast as in the United States. So now you have to print up more money. Printing up more money means somebody's going to have to buy your bonds. And now your country has to pay right now on a 10-year yield 4.13%. So if anybody wants to start thinking about this, $100 million means $4 million in interest is going out every year. Then when you start going up to $1 trillion, all of a sudden you're sitting there like, wait, are we serious right now? $400 million in interest has to be paid? Do you guys understand how this starts adding up? That's your taxpayer money that has to be used to pay that interest. So do you really think you should be giving tax cuts and tax breaks to the rich who have the most money, who should be paying the most taxes? Or do you just going to keep going, yeah, that's fine? Well, if you keep going, yeah, that's fine. That's what's gotten you here over 40 years, by the way. And if you're going to sit here and just do that, the usual, unfortunately, you're about to be crushed like a bug. And this is something I do not want for you. You need something offshore outside of the United States. I don't even care if it's Mexico. I don't even care if it's Canada. I don't even care if it's one of these allies that they're doing tariffs against. All I'm saying is you need something somewhere. You need other assets outside of the United States. All right? This is crazy right now. What you're saying right here, man. I was told that people 50 plus were pissed and going straight off. So developers say that they will build, but get this. The third and fourth phase can pay 30% more to continue in the project, of course. Of course, that's how they have to reset it. The prices are pretty inexpensive, quite frankly, as we know, for Vistancia. So even at a 30% more clip, it's going to be in line with it's still lower than what most places are going to cost. A 2-bedroom for 100,000, 110 or something. See, that's a little more. But who are okay, first of all, Joe Nay. Uh here's what I asked. Here's what I asked. I said, who's the developers for Vistancia? I said, okay, I want to see a picture of them. I want their cedula. I want to see their documentation. I want to know who they are. I was trying to get that from oh damn, I can't remember his name, who was on our live stream talking about them. They wouldn't give it to me. That's when I had to start being suspicious. I'm like, well, are they hiding? Why are they hiding then? Because people started asking questions, right? So again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to do business in DR, ask for the owner's pictures. Pictures, cedula, passports, whatever the case may be, because you may be walking down the street and not even know the developers that's been jacking other people, right? Just like the guy at the beach. Or I mean, sorry, well, same thing. At West Side, you wouldn't even know you walked right by him until he was in the newspaper with his face, right? Didn't even know. So again, this is why now any business dealings we have to see who developers are. I want to see their face. I want to see a passport. I want to see cedulars. I want to see their legitimate person. There is none of this unknown stuff no more. All right. By the way, just because the day was a good day, had to have my little Chardonnay back on the West Coast. We got great Chardonnay. You know what I'm saying. All right. King, POTUS, and gang are looking to change the world. Well, they are changing the world for the worse. I mean, we're joining the bad guys. We're siding with Putin. We're siding with China. We're siding with North Korea. Are you serious right now? We're with the bad guys. We want Russia to take land and resources from Ukraine, an independent nation who was an ally of ours. And by the way, the rest of the world is taking note. If you're going to throw them under the bus, you're probably going to throw us under the bus. Think about this. Let's just say the EU, United States, and Mexico, Canada, China, Taiwan. Taiwan is supposedly an ally of the United States too, right? So just think about this. If we're all together and we know who the enemies are and who the good guys are, right? So all of a sudden, if one of our friends starts acting like they're friends with the enemies, you have to raise your eyebrows and be like, "Hey man, what's wrong with you? They just invaded one of our friends, took his house, killed his family. What do you mean you're going to give it to the guy? What are you saying? That's crazy right now. You mean that's what you're going to call peace by letting the guy who invaded and killed his family keep it? And we're supposed to be like, okay? No, you're going to be side-eyed. You're going to be like, hey, man, you're on the other team now. Just stay over there on the other team. You're on the other team now. So that means don't come talking to us about anything. You're with them. You're with China, North Korea, Russia, United States. All the other places have to start going, hold up. These guys aren't who we thought they were. And by history, we know they're not. So we're going to have to start planning ahead. Thus, when they had a meeting over in EU zone to discuss this very thing, right? That's it. Salute El Monte in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Tariff wars incoming. Are you going to be able to protect yourself, everybody? Monty One is here. Thank you so much for being here, man. I appreciate it. Does DR have a reasonable citizenship by investment offer, in your opinion? Yes, they do. It's very simple. You could have like $1,500 a month coming in for retirement, $2,000 a month coming in for retirement. You have another option to where you can actually have real estate. They give you several opportunities. It's very simple, but they do a 1 year. Joe Nay knows all about it. They give you like a 1 year visa, and they keep kind of giving you a 1 year visa, 1 year visa, and then eventually you'll be able to get residency and citizenship. So yeah, it's search the channel. Search the channel. We had something with Johan Confidante. Search the channel with Johan Confidante for residency. I don't know if it'll come up, but when he was on, he's one of the preeminent lawyers in all of the Dominican Republic. When he was on, I had paperwork underneath that video and on screen that I could show you. And I think I did a residency or something on a separate video myself, and I have it on screen. So El Monte, you can send me a email at support at stopstrugglingnow.com, support at stopstrugglingnow.com, and I can pull it up for you. I mean, I'll send you a PDF. All right. And you can see it for yourself. In fact, if you stay here a little bit longer, let me go check something out. I might even have it somewhere, and I could pull it up on the screen and I can show it to you. Let me see. Just a second. I'll pull it up. Just stay tuned. Give me about 5 minutes. I might be able to. If I have it, I can actually. Hopefully, I can put it on screen. I don't know. It'll be a good try, but I'll give it a shot. Uh, let's see here. Yeah, I'll give it a shot. That's all I can do, man. But otherwise, hit me up, support at stopstrugglingnow.com, and I'll get you the PDFs so you can actually see the residencies. All right. Let me see. Dominican Republic uh, residency. Let's go. Residence. Yeah, I can't pull it up. It's not on my. I thought I had it, but I don't. So, like I said, just send me an email at support at Stop Struggling Now, or you might be able to find something online. But search the channel, look for Johan Confidante and Johan Johan, and it'll probably pop up just under his name on the channel. And you'll see he came on to do some live streams. We had residency discussion because whenever he was on, he answered questions like a great lawyer should. And also, by the way, let me do this while I'm talking about Johan to give him some love. You know, he's been helping out SSN Nation members for a while. So what I'll do is I'll put it in the chat room, his WhatsApp. So go hit him up. And also on the WhatsApp, I might have added, what happened? I might have added something else. Uh, you might see someone else on there too, because I usually have Glenme on there as well. All right. Jonay says, I strongly recommend obtaining Johan to facilitate obtaining whatever residency you are looking or eligible for. Process is very tedious. Exactly. If you're trying to do residency, what Jonay's trying to do is it is going to be tedious because he's trying to get his citizenship as well. So it all depends on what you're actually trying to do. If you're just going to qualify for, I think, the $1,500 a month coming in and you can verify it, then you're good for something. But he is correct. But thank you for that. I'm glad you brought it up, Jonay. Thank you. DR technology infrastructure is very slow, frustrating at times. Exactly. That's for sure. They're on the 1970s to 1985 system. That's what it seems like to me when I stayed there. I was like, these dudes are like 50 years late with everything on the way they process. It's like I'm at the bank in 1984, signing documents, going in the bag, Xeroxing them. I'm just like, this is insanity. There's none of that DocuSign and sign here and you're done, except in a few places. But most of the time, sign here. True. We need to go get a copy. Go sign here. You need I mean, it's crazy. Like it's 1980s again. It's so he's not lying. You're gonna have to be very, very patient if you're gonna do anything in the Dominican Republic with regard to residency, banking, anything that we take for granted. And basically, if you're in Canada, if you're in the EU, if you're in America, if you're even in Mexico, I mean, when you go to the DR in the Caribbean, it's another ballgame. All right. So that's how we get it. Lawyers will get you fast tracked. Exactly. That's exactly right. This is why we use the same method when we're telling people for our SSN Lifestyle Punta Cana Investors Forum. That's why we tell people to come because then you get to see the lawyers face to face. No additional charge. You get to ask all the questions. Then you can decide if you want to hire them or somebody else. It does not really matter. But that's why we do our SSN Lifestyle Punta Cana Investors Forum, which is coming May 13th, 14th, and 15th. Get your tickets now. Your airfare and hotel are not included. All right, let's just put it simple. Go to stopstrugglingnow.com or ssnlifestyle.com. You can get your tickets now. All right. First day we go see attorneys because you may have questions and you need to know the answers before you go out here willy-nilly saying, I want to buy property. I want to start a business. I want to. No, you need to know exactly what it takes to do anything there. If you don't know that, you can't do the next part. You can't just go, hey, I want residency, and then try to figure it out later, because otherwise you're going to waste a whole bunch of time when you could have just sat there and asked the questions right then and there, been there for an hour, hour and a half, not have to pay no hourly rate, no nothing, in addition to what you'd pay to come to the SSN Lifestyle Punta Cana Investors Forum. And now you have an opportunity to always pick up the phone, do the WhatsApp, get in touch with these guys, and get this SSN Nation rates as well when you do business with them. It's that simple. So May 13th, we go see attorneys. May 14th, in case people are interested in real estate, we go check out real estate. Obviously, there's pre-construction going on. There's a lot of things going on. No credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry. Third day, it's banking. You want to open up a bank account? You get pre-approved. You don't go walking in a bank and think you're going to be done in an hour or two. No, this is 1980s banking, 1970s banking. You're going to be there for hours in most instances. And even then, you might not be done. Like in my case with BHD, I've signed documents 3 different times in 6-month period and still no bank account. After they said I was already approved, everything's ready, and it's crazy. Crazy. Banco de la, I never even know. Lopez de Horo. I was in there for 3 hours because I didn't get pre-approved. I just wanted to see what ordinary citizens had to go through. 3 hours, 3.5 hours later, I finished up. I'm thinking everything's done. I come back to the USA. I get an email saying, oh, you have to sign 2 more pieces of paperwork. I'm like, are you for real right now? I was already there like 3-4 hours. Yes. So now the next time I go to the DR, luckily it was within 30 days, I had to go sign again. So then after I signed then, I'm like, okay, so do I have a debit card ready? Oh, no, no debit card. What do you, we're going to mail you a debit card. 6 months later, I get a debit card. I was like, okay, I will never do this free agent nonsense. I'm going to have all my stuff approved because when it's approved, I just get to roll out to the bank. I just get to sign documents. Yeah, it might take me an hour, hour and a half, but we already sent the 6 months bank statements. We already sent our W-2s with 1040 tax returns, 1099, all that information. So they had it. They already approved that I can come in. So after that, I just come in, I spend an hour there, and then I put money in my bank account. You're going to have a peso and you're going to have a USD, right? So you're going to put money in your, but again, you cut off this 4, 5, 6, 7 hour stuff. So get pre-approved. So then we get you pre-approved before you come. So then that way, when you get there for May 13, 14, and 15, you get the call. Come to the bank. You sign these papers. Make sure you bring $100. What was it? $500 USD. So then you don't have any banking fees generally. And $60 or $75. Sometimes it's $100 depending on the bank. If for a peso account. So then you have your 2 accounts. And then you're ready to rock and roll. But you're not going to spend 5, 6, 7 hours opening up bank accounts. It's that simple. All right. So just keep that in mind. Okay. I know way around U.S. embassies around the world and how to obtain passports and other diplomatic situations. DR by far is the most mind-boggling. But when it's done, relief. Exactly. It's only mind-boggling because you know how the system supposedly works. Because you're working in first world generally, and or in a situation where the United States Embassy has a lot of sway. In the DR, these guys are on no electronic systems, it seems like, even though they are, but that's why things don't get done too fast. But like Joe Nay says, fast track when you have your own attorney. This is what you have to do out here, ladies and gentlemen. You can't be shy anymore. You have to be proactive. You're the CEO of your life. If you want to be an emerging millionaire, you got to have things rocking and rolling. You can't sit on the standby role, right? You can't sit around being like, oh, well, the government's going to take care of me. That ship has sailed, ladies and gentlemen. As soon as somebody comes into a situation and they just arbitrarily have access to your bank accounts, your social security information, they can actually try to change it. You have to start going, holy smokes, we got a problem, Houston. None of these people are authorized public accountants. None of these people. I'm just like, how you let some dude who's a billionaire who has not studied no accounting, has never done nothing. He's looked over statements, of course, but he has an accountant doing his taxes. And he's now pretending like he's an accountant, like he's an auditor. and people are all good with this? You guys should be shaking in your boots right now. You should be thinking, well, wait a minute, how much money is he going to really take behind our back? Because, he's just going to tell us he's saving us all this money. So give me free reign to save you money, but I'm going to get 38, $40 million in government contracts that taxpayers have to pay. I'm like, wait a minute, man. I thought, okay, I won't get into it tonight, but this is so mind boggling. All right. Robinhood, Webull, get your free shares of stock from Robinhood and Webull, please. I'll put links in the chat room tonight. And now I'll be putting links down below in the description box for all those people. But if you haven't already, get your free shares of stock. It's very simple. Use my links. Yes, it's somewhat of affiliate links, of course. Why wouldn't they be? You get free stocks, I get some free stocks. Lovely. Or partial stocks. Depends on how it goes, right? Okay. Now, education department. There's a president that wishes to shut it down. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to tell you, if you have children that go to public education and they already may or may not receive free breakfast and free books, you may not understand the repercussions of shutting down the Department of Education, because now there will be no free breakfast nor free books. They'll try to make everything a charter school, which means you got to pay. And it ain't going to be tax payments. It's going to be potentially $500, $1,000 per month per kid, $300 per kid, going to your neighborhood school, and you buy the books and pay the teachers nothing still. So be careful what you ask for, because this is where we may be going. You guys out here who went for the okey doke with the Bitcoin and all that stuff, where on Friday they started talking about it was a pump and dump, right? I know, you guys believe the rich dudes. I get you, I understand. But see, the problem with a lot of rich guys, they're assholes. All right? There's a lot of good ones and nice ones, but there's a lot of rich dudes and they don't give a about you. All right? They don't care. Literally. Can you imagine being in a room full of rich guys and you're sitting there talking and you're a man of the people, and you hear some rich dudes talking like, yeah, man, making fun of, oh, we just fired this guy and fired this guy, and he has a house that he just bought, and he's got 3 kids. We told him he was gonna, be promoted, and we fired him, and they're over there laughing about it. I don't think there's nothing to laugh about. Now, the difference between me and you guys sit out there and be like, oh, he's a rich guy, he might be able to help me later, instead of calling him for what he is, an asshole. No, see, that's the difference. You sit there and be like, oh yeah, the asshole's cool because he has lots of money, he's the boss, he's this, that, and the other. See, get your integrity up, ladies and gentlemen, because otherwise America is going to have a serious problem. So see, I don't make friends because I don't care about people who treat people badly. Myself, I'm the one that sticks up for you guys and everybody, because I'm like, hold up, man, that's some bullshit. They're looking at me like, who's this dude? What's he doing in this room? Who is this dude? He shouldn't even be here. And then I remind them, you ain't the boss of nothing. You ain't controlling me. You don't control my businesses. But guess what? I'm still here in the same room as you guys, so I must be one badass motherfucker just like you. They'd be looking at me like, what the hell's this dude on? This is the problem out here, ladies and gentlemen. You guys are listening to all these dudes that exploit people. Not all, a lot. They exploit. And you guys just sit idly by like, ha, 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 he, it's all good, until it's not, until your friends down the whole block in a small town, you find out, oh, we laid off 500 people at the plant today. Your friends and your neighbors are now going, oh my God, we don't have another job that can pay this amount of money. You don't care. You needed to care 50 years ago. You needed to care 40 years ago. You needed to care 30 years, 20 years, 10 years ago, and you need to care now. So if you want to get into the money making Monday, you have to have a survival of your class of people. If your people are failing, your country fails. You guys going to get with the program yet? But don't worry. The guys here in the SSN Nation, they are far ahead of you guys because 5 years ago, I told the guys, get stuff offshore. They listened. Some of the guys said, oh, hell yeah, let me get some stuff offshore. Let me have a banking offshore. Some of those people who went to Mexico last month when they got hemmed up at the border saying, hold on, I think you guys might need a visa. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, but hold on, stand in line over here for 2-3 hours. We'll sort it out. Some of you guys may be in that camp who think that feeling that you're gay, whether you're male or female, and you want to mark the box male, female, other, you want to put an X on the other. Well, it doesn't feel too cool that you have a social security number, you pay taxes, and somebody shuts off your passport because you clicked other as an American citizen and your passport gets shut off. Do you guys not understand? You're one step away from your passport being shut off. See, that's the difference. So let's get back to the stock market today. Let's get back to the business news because you understand this all has something to do with everything. Economically, if you don't have economics, you can't do nothing. So what do? You shut down everything. So in other words, we were talking about the Department of Education. I shut down the Department of Education because I know now 70 to 78% of you are living paycheck to paycheck. You know what that means? That means if I shut down the free breakfast, if I shut down free school, you're going to have to come out of pocket. So now you're going to listen to what I have to say because if you don't have anything and you need food, clothing, you have children, now all of a sudden, whenever I say, oh, I'm going to give you $5,000, you're going to be like, oh my God, we better listen to this because this is the only way we're going to get some money and more money in our pockets. But the wolf in sheep's clothing, you're not sitting there going, well, they're giving people $4.5 trillion worth of tax cuts and tax breaks that you, the taxpayer, is going to have to pay for. And by the way, you're going to have to pay back that $5,000 per person if they would have done it, which they're not going to happen. But if it did, you're going to have to pay it back as a taxpayer. The country's broke. We're $36 trillion in debt, ladies and gentlemen. Make it make sense, please. We owe $1 trillion a year in interest. Make it make sense, please. Can't even pay that, by the way. But we're going to be talking about giving people money. Why? Because, oh my God, I get some free money, just like the PPP, just like the other stuff, free money and all this other crap. You saw what happened. The rich guys got theirs forgiven. Right? Simple. But the lowly people who have to make a living that went to school, who tried to better themselves to have a better job and find out they can't get the better job. Oh, no, we can't forgive their debt. But we can forgive PPP loans. We can give tax cuts and tax breaks to the richest of people, but we can't help the ordinary citizens. That's why you have to help yourself. You might want to rush it up a little bit. You have 1 year, 9 months left to buy assets. The stock market went down today. The crypto market has slid. I can't even believe what I'm reading right now. This looks like 83%, 83,000. Holy smokes. Not only did the Bitcoin tumble, it's down to 80. Is this real? 83,950? It was just like 90 something on Friday. It's down $10,000 today. Wow. Wow. Japan stocks drop over 2% to lead declines in Asia. 2% is significant in case you don't invest in the stock market. For a stock index to go down 2%, that's pretty significant. Wow. Student loan borrowers pursuing PSLF are panicking. Of course they are, because there may not be any student loans. You guys getting it yet? Okay. This right here is freaking crazy. I I don't even want to. Trump announces 100 billion investment in U.S. from Taiwan Semiconductor. This is crazy. What are they talking? You know what? I can't even. I can't even right now. I can't even. Do you guys know about? Remember those $1 billion deals when they were making shovels for these other Taiwan, Korean companies about 8 years ago, and nothing ever happened? Do you guys remember that? Now, why would TSMC make an investment in the United States when you have a president who says he would not even defend Taiwan if China took it over? I mean, this is insanity to me. We already had a Chips and Science Act under Biden that was going to create United States companies creating the chips. Why are we having a foreign country do anything with chip manufacturing? This defeats the whole purpose of being American independent and having high paying jobs and also making sure no other foreign country has your information. Now all of a sudden we're good, and China could take over Taiwan at any time under Trump. Is this a joke right now? The money will go toward building new chip manufacturing plants and brings. Trump has repeatedly called out and accused Taiwan of stealing the U.S. chip manufacturing business and touted tariffs. Okay, if they've already stole, first of all, Taiwan has like 80% of the chips, ladies and gentlemen. They create 80% of the chips. This is why we did the USA came up with the Chips and Science Act to actually get companies, United States companies, paying United States citizens top dollar to create chips and become what we should be from the get-go, world leaders, like we were. Get back to the business at hand. And now this guy puts TSMC is going to throw in 100 billion, and then they're actually going to benefit by creating new chip manufacturing plants. Okay, all right. So they aren't stealing the US chip manufacturing business. They already stole it because we were. Oh my God, what is. Oh my God. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. This is too much for me. I can't take it anymore. The dumbassery is beyond anything. Beyond. Stand by. If these dudes pass that budget, oh, I know, man. It's 4.5 trillion. They are going to pass it. Well, okay, hold on. We should say something. They have special elections because the House, first of all, that's where all the money comes from. If you're not familiar with civics, the money comes out of the House of Representatives that allows a president to spend the money. So if a couple of more seats flip to where it's Democratic, then this is going to be shut down. This 4.5 trillion. This is why they're trying to pass it before the special election, but it's so close that there's all it takes is about, I think, 2 or 3 Republican GOP senators to say no in the House, and we can't even get it to the Senate. So it would be DOA. So this is where the problem comes in. But he's right. If they pass this budget, it's $4.5 trillion deficit over the next 10 years. So that's what, $400 million? $400 million a year that taxpayers would have to pay towards. 400 million, ladies and gentlemen. That's a lot of money. On top of the subsidies, which is some more billions, and on top of, I mean, it's just outrageous. But you're right, Jonay. Jonay knows what time it is. That's why you make investments based on what the government is doing. All right, that's what you guys have to remember. This is why it's kind of easy, but they're not making it easy right now, because right now we have a rogue government agency ran by guys who have free money their whole life, trust fund kids who don't care. You know why I find this funny? Does anybody know how many kids Trump and Musk have combined? It's double digits. You know how many baby mamas they have combined? over 5, over maybe even over 7 or 8. That's crazy. These guys get free money and can do anything, right? This is crazy when you think about it. And you guys think these guys are going to be fiscally responsible when they get free money their whole lives? Trust fund kids? You think they really care about you? They don't, because otherwise you wouldn't do 25% tariffs for all products coming in. So therefore, you have to prepare yourselves. You have to make sure you have something offshore outside of the United States, business and real estate, business and business, whatever the case may be. You need some fluctuate possibilities of making money outside the US. That's what you need. It's a global environment. You can do it. All right. One of the easiest ways was to do no credit check, no qualifying real estate in the DR and then turn that into short term rentals or real estate over there. You would have money coming in, or doing business on the island. That would help you have money coming in. And it wouldn't come into the US. You would have money in your bank account in the DR, which the United States has no agreement. So they can't just come and grab it. Like if you're in the EU, they can come and grab it because the EU has a United States tilted system where if you're a US citizen, they can come over there and grab it. And all the EU countries have already signed off. So I don't know what to tell you. All right. It's that simple. In some countries, it's even worse. They take the citizens of that country, like in the case of France. If you're a U.S. citizen, if a U.S. citizen is married to somebody in France, a French citizen, and you guys happen to have joint bank accounts and not joint bank accounts, there's an agreement that the United States can grab the money that's in the French citizen's bank account because they're married to the U.S. citizen. Is that wild? Google. You'll be like, I don't believe this. Exactly. You ain't safe out here, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you get your money making Mondays right. Make sure you have water. Make sure you have some copper in the form of bullets. Make sure you have weaponry. Make sure you have water and food and a duffel bag of cash stashed somewhere. All right? It's that simple because you never know what's going to happen over the next 1 year, 9 months. And so far, it's not looking good after the first 30 to 45, 35 days or so of the new administration, 40 days, 45 days, whatever it's been. And now we have tariffs on Mexico. And if you don't think prices have escalated enough already, hold on tight, bend over, get the oil ready. They ain't even started to juice your ass up yet. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to be on here too long because, quite frankly, everything is going as we thought it would. There's no difference. I already knew what was going to happen when this administration came in, what to expect. The unexpected is what to expect, and you have to put yourself in position by buying assets. The assets are still the same. So when I was going over the gold, silver, precious metals, you still have to have a little bit of gold, silver, and precious metals. There's no way around it. That's an asset, but not the assets we talk about. The assets we talk about are you buy something, it gives you a return. Well, now, if you buy stocks, yes, you can get dividends still, but your stock prices are going down. You buy $1,000 worth of a stock and it costs $10. That's $10,000. But if the stock goes down 15%, the $10,000 is now 8,500 in stock price. And if you get 15% a year in dividends, about 1% a month, 1.2. So now you're getting about $120 per month. So is it going to be worth about the $1,500 you get annually if the stock price went down to $8,000 worth of stock price and you got 1,500 in dividends? That means you'd be back up to 95. But now you're talking 15% loss on your overall principal. But luckily, you're getting that return. But is that return sustainable year after year? Is the multi-million-dollar question. All right. So let me know what you guys think. Is there something that I'm missing that you can invest in that can make ordinary citizens money? NVIDIA shares fall 9% on tariff. Wow. Wow. Woo, woo, that's a heater. That's a heater. Wow. It's down to 114 and oh my god, there's people that shorted Nvidia too. They made out like bandits. Wow. They made out like bandits, ladies and gentlemen. AI cloud provider CoreWeave files for IPO. That's interesting. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Social Security plans to cut about 7,000 workers. Some workers, some expects worry that may affect benefits. 7,000 workers at the Social Security Administration. Do you understand there's millions of people that need their Social Security money on time every month? Do you guys see what's happening? I mean, this is crazy right now. This is crazy right now. Wow. This is just too much. Um First of all, I want to say something about Bitcoin now that I didn't mention before. Bitcoin tumbles 9%, reversing most of the rally from Trump's crypto reserve announcement. First of all, a volatile currency can never be a reserve. That's the first. You can never do that. If you have something worth 95,000 today and then it's worth 83,000 tomorrow, that cannot be reserve currency. You that would be almost like taking uh eh, Mexican peso and saying that's going to be the world reserve currency now. I mean, or Zimbabwe or something. I mean, that would be ludicrous. The currency is not stable enough. So that's the same thing with any reserve type of announcement. And talking about the United States would be the crypto hub of the world. First of all, we don't even have regulations. We don't have anything in place because the SEC has always him and hawed to allow the banking industry and the other industries with the wealthiest to get their ETF, Bitcoin, Ethereum ETFs, so they can control a lot of the money, which allows them to buy it using other people's money and get them in the game. So there's really no regulation that has been outlined over the last 30, well, 15 years. And that's been done on purpose. So trying to say you're going to have a reserve when you don't even have an infrastructure for crypto is whack. First of all, it's not free. You guys know you can't sign up and get crypto in the United States just by trading it. You have to sign up with an exchange or get it some other way. You can't just do it. So this is like a joke. All right. So I can send you money. This is true, but I have to run it through internet. I have to run it through sometime in exchange. There's just no way that you can. It's not just like just like I do Zelle. It's the same way you have to send crypto. There's no way you can just send it. This ain't, this ain't the movies. Come on, man. Uh, so a lot of stuff is going on, as you can see, that we're having a problem with the ordinary citizen class, the people who make a livable wages. They're not there. The cost of living is rising. I went at the store on the West Coast. A dozen eggs are $9, $10. Which, eggs is one thing, but still, a dollar an egg, damn near. I mean, we're talking like 80 cents, 90 cents an egg now. Uh, this is wild. This is pretty wild. And that's sustainable food, quite frankly. For the small amount, you get some protein and things like that. But let me know what you guys are thinking out here. I'm looking at some things right now. I'm looking at SOXL. That went down 2% today. I'm looking at Nvidia. That went down 10% accordingly right now, 10.06. That's crazy. Wow. There's a lot of people jumping out their parachutes right now with Nvidia. A lot of people wanted Nvidia. And here we are at 114. This is crazy because a lot of people 114.06 and falling. A lot of people had the opportunity at 107. And so the question is, did you sell when it went up to 140? I mean, That's the $1 billion question. Gino Chimiente is the one that said, as soon as it goes up to about 20, 25%, I sell and take my profits and run. I don't mess around. So here we are again. Super micro fell 13% today. We got problems, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't see how um, Trump dashes hopes for last minute Canada and Mexico deal ahead of 25% tariffs. What deal? They just okay, last time he was in office, he changed the NAFTA deal to some like USMC whatever, and it was the same damn thing except he took away some things. So why would they renegotiate something they already did? That doesn't even make any sense 6 years ago. That's crazy. That doesn't even make any sense. So this is bad. Canada's retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods to start Tuesday. Prime Minister Trudeau says there's your retaliatory number one. And you know, the lady from Mexico is no joke. You know, she's going to do the retaliatory tariffs. Are you guys ready? I tried to tell you 1 year, 9 months. That's all you got. Wait till Europe does retaliatory tariffs. Our allies. Oh, this is going to be one wild roller coaster, ladies and gentlemen. This is why you better watch yourself out here. I'm going to run. I'm not going to be on too long because, like I said, I got family situations. I got some things I'm doing here. And I'm very, very busy personally right now. Like you guys know, my brother passed away recently as well. And now my aunt is literally on her deathbed. And it's pretty bad. So there's some things that needs to be, things have to be done, but it's like things are crazy right now. And on top of that, you still have to pay attention to what you're doing and make sure that you have some sort of stocks, right? You got to have stocks. You got to have real estate. You got to have your duffel bag of cash. You have to have a little bit of gold, a little bit of silver, commodities, copper, palladium, platinum. I don't really care. You got to have it. And you got to think about offshore. You got to think about business. You have to have a business of some sort. So you can always make today money. It's not good enough to just work W-2 because your W-2, you're just now getting wiped. So what I mean by that, you can make, I don't really care, $100,000 a year. All right. With the 25% tariff on Mexico and Canada, unless you got a raise of about 10 to 15%, your buying power is about to be reduced by about 20 to 30%. So, I mean, your 100,000 is no good in a lot of it's not going to be good anymore. It's just like you just making 70 now, 75 now, but you're paying tax on the 100. You're not paying tax on the 70, 75 buying power that you're about to experience after about the next 2 days. And never mind about the retaliatories, because now the goods that you get from Mexico is now going to cost 25% more, and the stuff you get from Mexico is going to cost 25% more. So I don't know what to tell you, ladies and gentlemen. Hashtag we told you so. All right. My condolences to your family. Thank you so much, Georges Charles. I appreciate it. And Georges Charles, again, he's got that emerging millionaire tag for a reason, ladies and gentlemen, because he heeded the warnings. In fact, he's one of the guys that said, you know what, I was watching when the prices were this. A year and a half, maybe 2 years later, he goes, wait a minute, I better get something now. So he got something now. And he's happy that he did after he found out what the prices are now versus what they were outside of this country in the Dominican Republic. For what he purchased, he's very, very happy because now he realizes everything that I was telling about values and how things work out. He was skeptical because I was saying things that made no sense. What's it going to sound like when you say, well, I'm going to buy something for 250,000 and 3 years from now to be worth 500,000? You're going to be skeptical, right? Rightly so. Because at the time, there's no way you're thinking this. But then as prices start creeping up, you're like, I'll be damned. The damn thing's like 350? The damn thing's like 400? Oh my God, it really is going to be like 2.5, 3 years later, it's going to be worth that much. It's like shooting ducks in the barrel at the time. But don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. There's always something that happens. When the United States goes through their downside, the rest of the world goes through their downside. And when the United States comes back up, the rest of the world comes back up because the United States is a consumer nation. So once the consumers get back on their feet and they can go forth, travel, buy stuff, and do all this, prices rise all over the world. So don't worry. There's always something for everybody. You just have to be in at the right place, the right time, and be listening. All right. Make sure you guys come join me. SSN Lifestyle, Punta Cana Investors Forum. We see the attorneys. We go see some projects. We go to check out things with no credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry. We actually go. We can help you set up your bank accounts. Anything you need, we can get you help with and put you in position to win. We have a lot of winners here tonight, I have to admit. I'm very proud of everybody here. We got a lot of investors who took the word. They listened. And so I'm very proud of them, and they should be proud of themselves, and their family should be proud of them as well. But we're about to have some panic. Social Security, it's about to be a problem potentially. And Medicare, I mean, this could be bad, ladies and gentlemen. Healthcare costs so much. I just found out that there are doctors on the West Coast who actually changed who they were going to be under in their PPO plans. You want to know why? Under their HMO plans, they had a cap, and one of the caps is like up to $150,000 for healthcare. The PPO plan allows up to $250,000. So you're in business as a doctor. What are you going to do? You're going to go, oh, I'll make sure whoever comes here has that coverage that does up to $250,000. Why would I take the coverage for a $150,000 cap? We won't take that anymore. So now it's open enrollment. People are getting their health care coverage written off, removed. They don't have it and they don't know it because they haven't called up. And now I'm telling you right now, who's ever watching this and you're on Medicare, you better call up to make sure you still have coverage under your plan and your doctors still have that plan. Because this has come up in our family where they said, you have surgery in a week or two, and this checking because 3 weeks from now I have pre-op, I have blood tests. All of a sudden they started saying, wait, you don't have insurance coverage. What do you mean? You're my doctor. I've had insurance coverage with you. Oh, not anymore. We don't take this insurance anymore. What do you mean you don't take it anymore? Oh, well, we take this other plan now, but not that one. So now, 3 weeks before surgery, you find out you don't have coverage. Imagine, ladies and gentlemen, it's happened to my family. All right. So people don't even know because if she didn't have the surgery, she wouldn't have known. See, that's the problem. You didn't get any notice. You didn't get anything saying, hey, guess what? You have no coverage no more. No, nothing. See, this is where we are right now. So this downsizing of government that you guys are cheering for, some people are cheering for, you're cheering for your services to be cut without you knowing. They don't have the personnel to notify. They don't have the personnel to answer phones either. All of this is what your taxpayer money goes for. And you guys are sitting out here acting like everything is all good. You don't understand. You're in dire situation without knowing it. The trust fund kids don't care about you. These doofuses don't care about you. All right. You guys are out here thinking, oh, they're working for us. They ain't working for you. They're working for the rich dudes. If you ain't the rich guy, sorry, good luck. And if you don't have a skill set that you can make money out of thin air, good luck. Because that job you have, sure, it might be fine now. It might be fine 2 years from now. It might be fine 3 years from now. But it damn sure ain't going to be fine for 20 years. It ain't going to be fine for 15. It's not going to be fine for 10. You got a timeline on this. You start removing Medicare, you start removing education, and now taxpayers have to pay more money for less services. That's not going to go over very well. Not going to go over very well. So that's it. Sorry to hear this news. Spell, what's happening, man? Glad you in the house. Robert Speller. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We have an accountant in the house. This is the man you need to contact out of San Francisco Bay Area. Just look him up on LinkedIn. You'll find him. Robert Speller Jr. You'll go find him. Check him out. He's a friend of mine. Went to high school with him. Very happy for your support, my man. And by the way, Spell, I'm on the West Coast, man. I'm going to have to see you when I'm here. But I don't know when I can see you, though, man. Because I'm going to be in Sacktown, but then I got to go to Vegas. Then I got to go surgery. The wife is going to have surgery next week or 10 days from now. And then she can't move. She can't move. So I'm going to be in Sacktown. All right. So if you come up to Sacktown, man, then we can talk. But other than that, I'll see you in April. All right. How about that for some love, ladies and gentlemen? He's an accountant. You want one of the best accountants? He's been doing it for a very long time. Go see him. Robert Speller Jr. He's on LinkedIn. All right. That's it. Thanks. Let me know. I will come to you. All right, man. I'll let you know. All right. But like I said, it'll probably be best in April, though, because after surgery, the wife can't move. No, she can't. She can't move. She can't move around and stuff. So it'll probably be like in sometime in April, man. All right. Okay. I'm in Lathrop now, far from Sac, not far from Sac. Oh, okay. That's cool. God bless. Yeah. Thanks, man. All right. I look forward to it. So we'll have to hook up, man, and that'll be a special day. In fact, I've been trying to get him on the live stream, ladies and gentlemen. So maybe I'll be able to talk with Spell to get him into the live stream. So then you guys, he can talk to you. Then you can hit him up, you guys, and get one of the best accountants on the planet inside the USA. All right. He handles biz. You're a business startup. He gets your books and all that together for the it's not QuickBooks, but he told me about it. I don't know all of the software, but he puts all the software together for you guys to start your business up and existing businesses that want to upgrade. He can help you out. That's the guy. All right. So go show some love. You can find him on LinkedIn. All right. Just letting you guys know this is what we do here. Got to show love with our friends and family. You guys know how I've always been. So he gets some love too. All right. Now, I've only been on here, hour, 28 minutes. I'm not going to go ranting and raving a little bit more, but you guys know, you guys can see what's happening. You got 1 year, 9 months left. That's it. 1 year, 9 months left to figure out what you're going to do with buying assets, with getting stuff outside the US, starting businesses all over, global environment, just like the rich guys. Come on. I know we got a lot of guys that know what time it is here, but I need more of you guys to join us, right? Don't just think America's a declining empire. No different than the Chinese, no different than the Ottoman Empire, no difference in the Roman Empire, no difference than the UK English Empire at one time. They all fell. And it goes that way. So we're going down, and you're a subsidiary of the United States with your social security number. All right? Being a subsidiary, you going down with the ship? I hope not. You better find yourself somewhere outside of the United States to invest in, all right? So with all that said, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And now you guys know, I know, you know it's hard out here. I didn't even have to give you the numbers, but I'm going to give it again in case we have some new people who've joined us. If you know 70 to 78% of the people that you walk by every day is living paycheck to paycheck during the month, What do you think's going to happen when it's 20%, 25% tariffs? So now the goods and services in America potentially could cost 25 to 35% more. If you can't pay for things already now, what do you think's going to happen when you have to pay more for stuff imported from Canada and Mexico and China? Come on. This isn't rocket science. We don't need Robert Speller, the accountant. We don't need him to justify what you need to do, ladies and gentlemen. You know you need to make more money. How are you going to do it? You have your own business? Because if you don't, and you're doing W-2, you're not going to be able to walk into your boss's office tomorrow and say, hey, man, you know that 25% tariff that Trump did for Canada and Mexico, and that retaliatory tariff from Canada, the Prime Minister Trudeau announced last night. Can I get a raise for like 30%? That would be dangerous to your health right there, because they might look at you like, are you joking right now? Because you know damn well you're not getting no 30% price increase for your wages. But if you have a business, this is why you need a business, is because your business, of course, raises the prices so you don't have to eat it. You might lose customers, but your profit may stay about the same because you're going to have to charge more and you're going to have less customers, but at least you charge more so you can have less customers to make the same profit. All right? It's very simple. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for tonight. 1 hour, 32 minutes. I appreciate everybody being in the house. And once again, I guess I should do a little something, something, because since I have Spell in the house, I will add this one thing. Since I haven't had any SSN lifestyle type promo videos, I'll do this one here. Where is it? Right here. Come on, come on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, always have fun in life, enjoy life, because you never know what's going to happen in your future. You could get sick because you don't take care of yourself. Something could happen while you're driving down the street. You just never know. So you got to have a little fun in life. And if you can, a lot of fun. And with all that said, make sure you stay safe out here. I love you guys very much. I appreciate your support over all these years. And nothing better but to keep your head up, keep moving, and